Put.
And we are live from Mariel's
Yay!
Club. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to my channel. Today we have a very special guest, my girl Ali from Nobody's Angel. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy and excited to finally be able to talk to you.
No, this is amazing. Like, thank you for reaching out, and we've been following each other for a long time, so it's
Yeah,
nice to put a face to the Insta page.
I know. Some people don't even know who I am. Some people are you a boy, a girl, or what? Here I am.
I love it. I love that you love pop music the way you do.
Thank you. Yeah, well, what can I say? Pop music brings me life.
Same, same.
I know. You've been in the music business for years now, and you've been through a lot. You're Nobody's Angel, then now it has a Twinkle.
Yeah.
There's a lot for you to tell me about, but first of all, tell me, you began doing some musical theater?
I started in musical theater when I was 5. So it's like my whole life pretty much. Like this is all I've done.
So, what plays were you in?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when I started doing shows that were like community based. Like first, like with my dance school. So my dance school put on a production of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, but it wasn't like the normal. It was like their own version, and that was actually when I discovered I could sing, and I was the part of a singing bluebird. And then from there, then I started doing like community theater. So I would say Goldilocks and the Three Bears was like my first, and then my semi-professional was Fiddler on the Roof. And then it just kept escalating from there. But Fiddler on the Roof, I've done Sound of Music, Gypsy, Annie Get Your Gun, Annie, God, Jesus Christ Superstar, Aida, so many. Like I'm like trying to think of them all. Little Shop of Horrors. So just so many.
Wow, so you've been in a lot of plays.
Yes. Oh my God. Like Chorus Line. I just was like thinking of all my tours. Chorus Line, Footloose. I adore musical theater. Like that was like my entrance to getting my feet wet in show business. And also I think such an amazing tool as an entertainer, having to learn so much, like so much dialogue, and it's so many different songs and so many different dances, and also you're doing it live, and even though you have your show set and you're ready to go for showtime, somebody might forget their lines, or the audience may break out into like crazy laughter, and you have to hold for pauses. So it's like you just never know, and you have to always be prepared to go with the flow. And I think that musical theater just teaches you so much.
Yeah, I think it's like the biggest platform for every performer to
Yeah.
start musical theater because,
Yeah.
like you say, it brings you like a lot of confidence. You can actually improvise.
Yeah. Yeah, because like usually, like when it's super professional, like when it's community based, and it's not it's semi-professional, you have months sometimes before you put the show up on its feet. But when you're actually like at the professional status, like when you're doing national tours or Broadway and stuff like that, you literally have only a couple weeks, like 2 weeks maybe, to learn everything, and then you put it up on its feet. And so I just think that anybody that wants to be like a performer, I highly suggest doing theater. Like it's just such, like you learn so much.
Okay, so well, yeah, it's a great advice because a lot of people wants to get into this business, and yeah, musical theater is, I think, the best platform to do so.
Yeah.
So then, after you did all this musical theater, you started doing acting too, or if I'm not mistaken, you were about to be part of this.
Oh my God. So let me tell you. Okay, so we'll back it up. That's hilarious. Okay, so I did after musical theater. I at one of my shows. Actually, I was doing Fiddler on the Roof. One of the agents for another actress. She was like the older girls. Was there and she was interested, and my parents didn't know anything about show business. All I knew about show business was, well, if I book a commercial for Barbies, I probably get a lot of Barbies. And that's what I literally. Oh wait, are you frozen? Are we frozen in time? Oh no. Hello? Oh no. Oh, there you are.
Sorry. Yes, I think the internet went down.
It's okay. I'm used to everything. So I just saw your face frozen. I was like, oh no, we're frozen.
I'm like, what the hell? So okay, you were telling me that we were talking about Zoom. And
yes.
Yeah.
So I started. I definitely wanted to do TV. So I transitioned from theater into TV, not knowing anything about the TV world. My parents are teachers. They didn't know anything about it either. And then all of a sudden, I love doing voiceovers and commercials and TV shows, but my first passion is performing, like singing and dancing. So even though I was acting and doing really well as a child actor, I guess you could say, I did book a lot of stuff. My heart was always into music. And so that CD that you popped up, that was called Zoom. And I actually was the OG member. So Crystal and I, yeah, that's Crystal. Okay, we'll start with Holly, who's in the middle.
Yes.
Holly was my friend since we were really, really little. And same with Jenny. Yes. Jenny and I, yeah, there's Jenny. Jenny and I were friends since we were kids, like literally kids. But Crystal and I had just toured the national Broadway tour of Jesus Christ Superstar. And we had just come back she was actually living in the East Coast. And because her and I were roommates on tour, she was like, you know what? I'm going to try living in Los Angeles. So I was like, you should come. So my friend Holly wanted to put together a girl band. And she was like, will you be in it with me? And I was like, of course. And so she was like, but we need other girls. And I was like, oh my God, my friend Crystal just moved from the East Coast. We just finished her tour. She would be amazing. So it was me, Crystal, Holly, and Jenna from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yes. So that was the OG 4 of Zoom, and we recorded an entire album. But this was only supposed to be a project for overseas, for the Asian market. And I also wanted to be a part of, like, I was always working on demos with a lot of different producers, and kind of had my hands in different projects. And I was also working with Nobody's Angel and Sarah and Stacy and Amy Sue and the producer Andrew Logan, where in my heart of hearts, didn't have deals yet. None of us had record deals. In my heart, I knew that Nobody's Angel was definitely going to be the one to take off, just because the music was so good, and they also had the right kind of team of people supporting the project. And you know, Andrew had been working as a producer, doing a lot of stuff for a long time. So I was confident that was going to take off, but I still wanted to kind of see where everything was, well, you know, where everything was going to take its place and take its course. And then I remember Jenna booked Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and she was like, oh my gosh, you guys, there's an opportunity for us to perform. And we're like, really? And she was like, yeah, we get to perform one of our own songs. And she's like, I totally pitched it so they don't have to audition people. Like, we're going to actually sing our song. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So we actually performed as Zoom on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which happened to be the episode with Backstreet Boys. But I didn't know who Backstreet Boys was at the time. I had no idea who they were because I think they were just kind of like starting to blow up. And it was like one of their kind of like marketing, you know, strategic plans to kind of elevate them. And so Zoom was like working on trying to get record deals as well. And then all of a sudden, and same with Nobody's Angel. And then, like, just how it always happens, like, kind of when it rains, it pours. I happened to be in a situation where literally we got record deals for both at the same exact time. So I had to make a really hard decision because I had known. Well, actually, Jenna left first because she's like, she's contracted to Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I can't be in Japan. I can't be doing things. So everybody was like, oh no, what are we going to do? And then I had to make that decision because it was either Nobody's Angel 100%. I couldn't do both. And so I literally had to break the news to Holly and Crystal that I was not going to be a part of it, that my heart was going to go with Nobody's Angel. And even though my dream had always been to go to Japan. So I was like, oh my God. So I was like, well, I won't leave you guys hanging. I have a friend that I've known forever that I think would be amazing. And that was Jenny. So Jenny filled in for me, and then somebody knew the other girl. I don't know the other girl.
Giera.
Yeah, so somebody knew her, and then from what I know, because I'm friends with them, like they literally went to Japan, and weeks later they disbanded. So like it was literally that fast, and it, you know, like being in a girl group is, I always give it up for anybody that's in a girl group because it is difficult, and there's a lot of different personalities that you know are a part of it. So they didn't last very long. So I'm glad. I guess the decision that I made was a good decision, but I felt like really heartbroken about it for a really long time because like it took us like years to get a deal. So it's like it's not like it just happened overnight, but it's just the crazy timing of life, how both situations got the deals at the same time. So, yeah.
So you recorded all these songs?
No, so I mean, I haven't actually heard that, so I don't know if my voice is on there, but I recorded all the songs that got us the record deal. So I don't know if I'm on that or not. So yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah. So we recorded like a whole bunch of songs with producer Joey Carbone, who is and he was known because he produced so many of the J-pop, K-pop albums. And if anybody out there watching remembers Alyssa Milano, like Alyssa Milano like was huge in Japan as an artist, and he produced all of her albums. So
yeah, she recorded a song called Secret, which was later recorded by Zoom.
It's no secret that I mean that's the song that I think that was the song on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's the one. So, yeah, well, I didn't know that. I mean, you just mentioned once that I talked about Zoom in my Instagram account, and you mentioned I was one of the original members, and I was like, oh my god, really? Small world, because a lot of people says that this is one of the hardest albums to find, and like one of the rarest.
That's so crazy. That's so
Yes.
crazy. Yep. So
Well,
now you know.
now you all know, everybody. So, and then came, well, what we all know. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Gotta say, Ali, this is a great album. This is a
thank
great
you.
album. Yes.
Thank you.
I have a lot of great memories with it.
Aw.
Yes. Because when it came out, I was 10. So.
Wow. Wow. You know, it's so strange because I think when you're in it, you don't realize the impact that you're having around the world, because we unfortunately never had the experience to travel around the world as Nobody's Angel. And so I never in a million years even thought that our music was heard anywhere but in the US. And then it's also really strange now, because I'm still an artist, but now an independent artist. And I've had the opportunity to travel the country as Twinkle Time. And I'll be in different states. And now moms come to me with their little kid and they're like, oh my God, like I grew up listening to you and going to all of your shows when you were in Washington or Oregon or Texas or wherever I'm at, right? And now I'm bringing my child to see you still. And so it's just, and it like, I'm like, wow, that's so, it's so crazy to hear that. But it's been so wonderful, to experience that. 'Cause I remember a lot of these people that come up to me and are like, we would come to all your shows. I was like, I remember you.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That must be great. I mean, I have now an 8-year-old, no, an 8-month-old girl. So
Oh,
I will be playing your
Twinkle Time. I love that. I love that. It's so weird. It's so weird. I never yeah, I mean, like I know we haven't started talking about Twinkle Time, but like I didn't expect to be doing kids music, but I've been doing it now for 10 years and I absolutely love it.
And you are great at it.
It's, you know, when I started Twinkle Time, a lot of people that were my friends or that knew me in just professional like relationships, they're like, oh my God, like this is you. And Dallas, my husband, the first time when I stepped out as Twinkle, he got teary-eyed and cried, and he was like, wow, you managed to portray who you are on the inside outward, like for everybody to see. So like he'll always tell people, you know, you guys think that this is just Twinkle, but this is who she really is. So yeah, it's I'm just a big kid, I guess.
And kids love you.
Aww. And I love them. I'm just a people person, period. So I enjoy meeting people, and you know, I learn so much from people, you know. So I love people. So I'm a people person.
You're a people person. Yeah. Back to Nobody's Angel.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a lot of questions from me and from fans too. The songs. Who chose "If You Wanna Dance" as the lead single?
It's okay. So it's so funny because now knowing how the industry works, at the time, I was, you know, everything is so political. So, like, if I'm going to, dish on things, like, when, like, as our being the first artist on the label and not really wanting to, like, cause controversy, like, we would have preferred, like, a different song as the first single, but that particular single was chosen from the record company because the writers of that song had ties to Hollywood Records. So as much as we love the song, like, that was a great song, like, we would have probably preferred a different song as the first single. But these are things that you learn after, like, I think that's why, like, in the music industry, like, when you're young, you don't really use your voice, and then you start learning about the music industry, and then as you get older, you're like, oh, I can use my voice to express, like, what we want, what we don't want. But yeah, so that it wasn't really our decision. It was a decision that was made from the record company, but now being older, I understand the political aspect of why they chose that song. But I mean, it's still a great song, and I'm glad that it's a song that people remember us by. So I don't have any feeling like I'm not like, oh, it should have been another song, but I'm glad it was still that song.
And which one would you have released?
Which one would have I released as a first single? Oh, well, I think I would have either done I Can't Help Myself, or a personal fave of mine was Next Stop Heaven. Hey! Like, if they were going for, like, a mid-tempo, then I Can't Help Myself, because it's somewhat ballady and it's, like, pretty, but, like, for a dance, on the floor kind of, like, song, I personally would have chose Next Stop Heaven. Then I would have done I Can't Help Myself. And then I think I would have done maybe, like, Absolutely Maybe. And then Wishing on You. That would have been, like, the single choices that I would have personally picked.
But you guys did release I Can't Help Myself as a single, but it didn't have a video.
It didn't have a video. There's so much, like, there's so many things that, again, were, like, out of our hands. So I Can't Help Myself obviously was tied to the Boy Meets World show. And so, like, that song actually took on so many different formations of what it ended up being. Like, how we originally recorded it was not the OG song. And then when we met with Michael Jacobs, who is the creator of Boy Meets World, he was actually going to be the guy that created our own personal TV show. So we had a TV deal with Disney and ABC to have him create our own TV show as Nobody's Angel. So technically that particular episode was supposed to be, like, the spin-off to our own TV show. And he chose that song because he felt like it was a perfect song for what he had in mind as a writer. And because of now Sarah and Amy Sue being paired as sisters and Stacy and I being part of, like, the Friends, like, that song took on a whole different life as far as how it was recorded and actually put out on an album. But that's, like, not, like, how the original version was. Then because of a whole bunch of other political things that took place, unfortunately, like, that song didn't get a video because there was a lot of internal things that were happening, sadly, that actually we weren't aware of until much later. So I know it's so sad. Like, we didn't know any of the internal things that were going on. until later, until like sometimes if it was too late, or then we would find out about it. So yeah, but no, I would have loved to have done a music video to that song because it's such a great song.
A lot of fans still say that because they should have had a second video and a third single and stuff. Because a lot of artists from that time, 2000, 2001, only recorded they recorded one album and only had like one single and one video, and some had no videos at all. So you guys are lucky to have one.
We're lucky to have at least one, right? it's I think what a lot of people don't realize, it's sadly like if the record company isn't behind things 100%, they don't invest in, because I mean, sadly, they're like, every artist is almost like a tax write-off for every record company. So unless it like nails it like out of the ballpark, it starts like selling millions of albums, they're not going to continuously invest. And because we had this TV show element that was supposed to kind of propel the album and everything else, but then, you know, people get greedy. People, you know, like the production company that we were signed to, like, was greedy about certain things, that it kind of ruined the deal that we had with Michael Jacobs. And these are things that we didn't know till after. So like we'd be on the road touring, and this is all the stuff that was happening behind closed doors, and then we find out about things after.
Oh, I see. Well, here says Twinkle Time Street Team. I would love to see a video for Wishing on You and Ooh La La.
Oh, hey! Wishing on You was one of my favorite songs. It was a little bit more not so Disney-fied. And I think it was almost like that next step of where we wanted to go as artists, like, you know, because everything we did was definitely like combed over with a fine-tooth comb. Like, there was certain words we couldn't say, and things that like, oh no, it's not too Disney, it's not appropriate. But that song I love, and of course I can't help myself. That would have been such a great video.
Well, you say about not mentioning certain words, and still you have a song called Sugar Daddy, which today would be you know?
Yeah, like that song to me like is kind of funny, because it's not a song I probably like, now having worn so many hats, when I look back I was like, that's probably not the best not even for Disney, right? Like I'm like
telling you, Sugar Daddy, a Disney thing, I don't know.
Yeah, no, there was actually a couple other songs that I had recorded in the demo, like before, when we got like how we got a record deal, that I thought should have made the cut, but it just for whatever reason didn't make the cut, and the, you know. But that's funny. Yeah, no. Nowadays people would be like, what?
Sugar Daddy, yeah. I mean, what I think. And well, there's another song I personally love, Keep Me Away.
Can't keep me away from you.
That's the one.
Yeah. No, that's it's so funny. So Andrew Logan and Mike Moore, who are our production company we were signed to, and also the writers of that song, Andrew always likes to say that well, at the time he was like, I wrote it from like what I was going through at the time with like a boyfriend from high school. I had really, really strict parents, and I wasn't allowed to do anything. I wasn't allowed to date or go out. So that was kind of like the premise, I guess, for that. Oh. Yeah. I forgot about that song. We used to sing that song in live. That was a good song.
Wasn't it Lindsay Lohan movie with Tyra Banks?
It was was it Life Size or what
Life
was?
Size.
Yeah, it was in that. I forgot about that. Oh my god, all these things that you're bringing back to my memory.
Yeah, I remember it was there. And Ooh La La, Ooh La 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 was co-written by Paula
Paula
Abdul.
Abdul. Yeah, that was kind of cool. That I think that was a song that was actually supposed to be for her, and it was a song that obviously didn't make the cut for her. So we got lucky and we got that song, and I actually love that song. We never did that though in a live performance, but that would have been a good song to do
Yeah.
live.
It has like that bubblegum pop vibe.
Yeah. Ooh la la la. Yeah.
And I love Cherry Crush, which I also think it's underrated.
Really? That, it's so funny. I'm like, okay, like to me that just felt like a filler song on the album. It wasn't like one of my absolute faves. But now I'm gonna have to like re-listen. I haven't listened to the songs in so long. Yeah, I actually haven't. Obviously, like I hear "If You Want to Dance" all the time, and because people will send me stuff, or I can't help myself, because people really know that from Boy Meets World. But honestly, I haven't listened to the album in its entirety. I'm gonna have to do that, and maybe like be like, oh yeah.
Well, you should, because it's full of bobs. Well, Next Top 7 is definitely my favorite.
That's my fave. Oh, and Right There Waiting.
Right There Waiting. Boom Boom is also underrated.
Okay, I do like that song. And we did that one live, and that was a really fun song to perform live. So,
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of great songs in this album, and like I told you, I have like the best memories because it came out when I was 11. So yeah, now I'm 32, and it's like time goes by so fast. But I have all these memories. I keep all my CDs, and every time I look at them, it's like I go back to those great years.
Oh my God. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Thank you for supporting our music and having those great memories. Like that's again, like we don't realize, I think, as artists when you're in it, like who you're impacting and with your music and stuff. So it's nice to hear that.
No, my pleasure. What Monica says, I have heard about Nobody's Angel possibly getting a sitcom on the Isle of Deserted Pop Stars blog a few years ago. After hearing this interview, I know that story is true.
Say that about the pop stars. Say that one again.
The Isle of Deserted Pop Stars.
Oh, okay. Was that like a website or something?
It's a blog.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like we did have a TV show deal with Michael Jacobs. He was supposed to be the producer and the creator of a Nobody's Angel TV show that was supposed to be for ABC. And then that didn't pan out. And then for our second album, we had another deal with ABC Family. And actually, Michael Jacobs, co-creator of Boy Meets World, April Kelly, then became our new co-creator, and she was going to develop with a guy named Eric, who also like worked on many shows of that era, and they were going to develop a TV show for ABC Family, and that was supposed to be the tie-in for the second album, and then that had so many stories behind it that didn't happen. So that's just showbiz.
Now that you mentioned your second album, I got like a lot of fan requests saying, please tell Ali to share the songs from the second album, because I think there's one copy that's available on this website called Discogs or eBay, I think, and it's like 10,000 pesos, which is like, I don't know, $1,000. I don't know. So,
What? Who is doing that?
I don't know, but I know some songs leaked, like brilliantly, which I have on my phone. Don't ask me how I got them, but I have them. And but everybody's like, please tell her if she has the songs to share them because everybody wants to listen to the second album. And well,
okay. Well, the second album, I do have to say, I was so proud of. The second album was so fierce, and we actually, now we're hands-on. We produced it. We had gotten rid of a lot of the bad apples from the production aspect, and we had new management. Now we're using our voice to kind of do what we wanted to do, and the direction where we wanted to go. And the album was amazing. We worked with Matthew Gerard, who is known for everything High School Musical, Hannah Montana, probably like the Pussycat Dolls, a lot of pop star stuff. He was amazing. So a lot of the album was produced by him. Then there was some cuts from Bo Dozier, up and coming at the time, Cole. There was like just like this, and we got to write. So it was a really amazing experience, and I too was so bummed that it didn't get to be heard because we put so much work into it. And again, sadly, it all had to do, it's just business, like it really came down to when ABC Family started changing the direction of their network, and they were like, we're not going to move forward with the TV show. The record company then was just like, well, if we're not going to move forward, if they're not moving forward with the TV show, at that time, radio started getting oversaturated with all these making of the band types of shows that radio was like, we don't want to play any more pop music, any more girl band, boy band. Like literally, like the radio was saying stuff like that. And so the record company sat us down and they're like, without a TV show to propel it, we could put you on the road for X amount of dollars, but we're not going to put the type of marketing money that it deserves. Now, at that time, like, we didn't really know, like, oh, well, we had somewhat of a following, of a name that we probably should have kept going, but I think everybody was like, well, if they're not going to put the money in and then, obviously maybe, like, not pay us, like, to keep going out on the road, then how are we going to survive? How are we going to live? And so we made a joint decision that maybe it was in our best interest to not move forward. It was a really sad decision, but now looking back, I'm like, and now being an independent artist and doing everything independently and booking the shows and doing all of that stuff, now I'm like, oh, we could have kept going. We could have done like the fair circuit. We could have done festivals and just kept doing stuff and grow that way on our own. But yeah, so those were things that if you think back, but everything happens for a reason. So, but looking back, I'm like, okay, we probably could have, but it had to be everybody in agreement to make that happen.
But will you ever share those songs?
Well, technically, I personally can't, because the record company they own it. So, like I have it, but the thing is they own it. Like I was given the masters, but they own it. So I would have to go to the record company and sit down and be like, okay, how can we do this? Like, would you be willing to do this? Because a lot of people want to hear. So I think and it's something that I was trying to start last year prior to the pandemic, was to put us back together and to try to, even if it was just like a couple shows, like even in Los Angeles or maybe one other location, which was going to be a feat in itself because some of us haven't seen each other in literally 20 years. And some of them, like, you know, a couple of other of the members, like they maybe are full-time mamas, everybody except for me. So they're full-time moms and they all live like in, some of them not even in the country. So it's, it would take a lot of effort for everybody to kind of put this together. And, you know, it would have to be on our dime and our expense. And I think a lot of people maybe are gun shy at doing something like that, you know, like, you know, is it worth it? Do we like, you know, do we do it? Will there be people that show up? You know, it's all those like the unknown that people are like, I don't know about this.
The people was like super excited because of that, because you started uploading videos where you guys were dancing to the intro of you know, If You Want to Dance, and I was like, oh my god, what's happening? So yeah, we were really excited, and then this COVID thing happened.
COVID was horrible. So like I definitely, like, before I reached out to the girls, I even asked Dallas, because I'm married to Dallas. I said, I'm like, would you guys want to do Youngstown? And DC was in 100%. Dallas was like, well, if DC's in, I'll do it. Sammy wasn't feeling it, but I was like, it's okay, just the two of you guys. We'll find somebody else to be the third person. And I was gonna, like, you know, reach out to BB Mac and see if that would be something that they would be interested in, because I know that they were also touring in the country prior to the pandemic. So, but then that happened, and then just life changed for me especially, and for Dallas, because Twinkle Time is like what we do, like full time, that our livelihoods came to a screeching halt. And then it just, everything, because touring is how we survive. Like we are touring musicians, and so it just was like, oh my god, like if that hadn't happened, I would have had the gumption, the gung-ho, the drive to like figure out how to make it work. And I had started pitching production companies here and there about, you know, maybe doing something. But then when that happened, it's just like, well, I have to like work on us, you know, how we make a living before, you know, because that's what we've been doing before I bring back Nobody's Angel.
Well, it would be great because I don't know if you, well, you are friends with Melissa Schumann.
I love Melissa, yes.
Yes. It was year 2000, the Y2K tour.
Yeah.
With, Old Town and Ryan Cabrera.
Yeah.
And it would be great to see you guys, Nobody's Angel, with Youngstown and BB Mac. And Y2K tour. I mean, and people is going, so you don't have to be afraid because people want you back.
Well, whoever's out there watching, if that's something you want, like, spread the word and like I think for us, like I would do it in a heartbeat, but you know, everybody else, like their lives are different, you know, like they like, you know, are full-time moms and then doing their own thing. And a lot of us haven't seen each other in 20 years. So, yeah, that would be really, it's going to have to take a lot of, you know, like dedication, because we're all like, none of us, like the thing about Dream is that they were all here still in Los Angeles. And they were all still doing music. I think 3 of them were still trying to do like some sort of group, you know, maybe like not Dream. Yeah. So like they were still writing stuff together and working on music, and and they all live in LA, and they all still see each other, and they're all very close. But the fact is like we are all separated, and a lot of us haven't seen each other in, like I said, 20 years.
Oh.
So it would be like a lot of dedication, like to like work on material and to try to bring it back, and then we would have to do it obviously on out of our expense. So yes. Yeah, so I mean, I would do it in a heartbeat, but that's something that like we all have to be on the same page, or else if I'm the only person that is like, let's do this, and everyone's like, one foot in, one foot out, then we're just kind of spinning our wheels and going nowhere.
Well, let's hope for the best.
Yes.
Probably for 2022. That would be great. I mean, I have spoken to Sarah, and she said that she would love to go back. And well, no. Oh, Stephanie says one day there will be a reunion. Yes.
One day we'll have to make that happen.
As well as Youngstown. I mean, we all love Youngstown too. So
I'll let him know.
For Dallas.
No, he, it was a huge part of our lives, like, you guys only saw like a smidge, but for me, like, Nobody's Angels started like at the end of 95 or the beginning of 96, and we didn't get signed till 98, and then we got dropped, I think, at the end of 2002 or maybe 2003, I can't remember. But so it's, like it's a huge chunk of our time, and it's an experience that I absolutely loved. And I learned so much. Like, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now in the independent world if I didn't have that experience, and if I didn't get to work with amazing people that are the tops in the record industry in the fields that they're in. So I feel very blessed. I'm sad that we never had the opportunity to go overseas and outside of the country. Like, well, we were in Canada, but like, in South America and Mexico and, Japan and all those amazing places that we would have loved to have gone. But maybe one day, you never know.
Well, don't ask me why or how, but I have this Brazilian edition.
There's a Brazilian edition?
I mean, it has the 13 songs, but it's made in Brazil.
But it's still the songs? Like, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. A friend of mine gave this to me, and he's from Brazil, and I'm like, they toured over there or something, and he was like, no, but they sold the CD here, so.
That's so crazy. See, these are things that, like, I would have never known, and that's why I love social media so much, is that, and especially now that we all Zoom and do all these live streams, like, it's really cool to like just meet people from all over the world.
You never know where your music can reach. I mean, and the single from If You Want to Dance actually was found on a CD store in Guadalajara here in Mexico. So.
What? Oh my gosh.
So,
I love that.
I know, and I happen to have it, which is like, everybody's like, why do you have it? And I don't know. It's like it's part of.
That's amazing. These are things I didn't even know. I didn't even know that we were in all those markets. That's kind of awesome. That's really awesome.
Well, so yeah, you never know where a fan's gonna pop up from. Let me turn on the light. Oh, a second.
Yeah. Is it what time is it over there?
It's almost 8:00.
Oh wow! So you're a couple hours ahead.
Yes,
nice.
Like I was telling you. So now, come to your experience as a Twinkle. How's it been for you? I mean, totally different from what you were doing on Nobody's Angel, and now performing for kids.
Well, it's funny because it's actually not that different, except for the fact that I have orange hair. So, I mean, I'm still doing pop music. And when I stepped out into the family scene, most of the artists here in America, not so much in Mexico, like you have Tatiana and you have, and they do like pop music, and other artists like that. But like in here in America, most of the family artists are singer, songwriter, musicians that are like more on the folky singer, songwritery side. So coming from the pop market and the mainstream market, like that's just what I do, right? Like I'm a pop musician. I sing, I dance, I act. I have the theater background. I wanted to like incorporate all of those elements, but I wanted the music to be what you would hear on mainstream radio, except with like positive messaging, clean lyrics, like more Disney-fied, not Cardi B. And so, and that's what I did. And so when I started, like literally a decade ago, in the family scene, nobody was doing that. And also because soy peruana también, I wanted to always do everything in English y también en español. So like I do songs in English and Spanish. And so, and when I first started, like I had this, notion or idea that it was going to be geared for very little ones, like babies up to 3 or 4. But then what started happening throughout the years is I wasn't just performing at like the toddler mommy and me type of shows. I was doing music festivals or headlining at state fairs or county fairs, performing arts centers where it wasn't just for and babies. It was 5 to tweens, or sometimes I would be at a state fair and I would see like teenagers and young adults like rocking out in the back. Like, should I be rocking out to this? It's kind of, like they're not sure, but then they kind of have maybe like a Comic-Con, like my band kind of looks very Harajuku, very Comic-Con. So I started developing a fan base, like even with older people. So then I decided as every album came out to just kind of make it every album became a little bit edgier, a little bit harder in sound, never straying away though from the lyrical content. Like lyrical content for me and my messaging is always going to be about positivity, inspiring the next generation through my music and through the arts. So it's not, it's still like Radio Disney type of music. So in a sense, it's the same, like your age that used to come to Nobody's Angel are the kids that come to my shows, and maybe their little, their siblings or whatever. So it's definitely family music. It's for the whole family. Like my live shows are always like not just for the kids. We do things so the adults can like laugh and have like that inner joke that maybe the kids don't get. And my dreams and hopes for Twinkle Time are to have my own TV show and to create this like amazing brand, whether it's like a cartoon or books, or that's always been the dream since I started. But when you're not supported from like a big entity like Disney or a Netflix, and you're just, it's just me and Dallas like doing it all, like then you're limited. You're like, okay, wait, we got to concentrate on live touring because that's how we survive. And then and because of the pandemic and not being able to tour, then I was like, okay, I have to like pump out content. So it's allowed me to like put out music videos, because maybe I'd be on the road most of the year and I wouldn't have time to produce and to do all these videos. So that's kind of been a cool thing, is like I've been able to like produce content for YouTube and for the kids.
That would be a great thing to do now that you mentioned that you would love to make a show or something. But now that we have the social media, it's easier for us to do whatever we want without having the support of big companies. And now you can do it through YouTube or I don't know, other social media, and you can reach a lot of people, not only in the US but
everywhere
around the world. So.
Yeah, no, it's I discovered that during this time that it's been so weird. Like, I literally have been in my home for a year and a half, and that's like unheard of. Like, as somebody that grew up in showbiz, I was always working, like, since I was 5. And, you know, yes, you have your slow months, slow times, but never have I not done what I love for this length of time and literally been cooped up at home. So, you know, and so it's been strange, but like I said, it's I've had the opportunity to do I started doing a live stream every day. I cut back because live shows started to come back. And so, but I was doing a live stream every single day for over a year. And then also decided that I was going to do a radio show. So there's a radio, it's online too, where everybody can hear around the world, but the FM station is out of Pittsburgh. It's a small station. It's a brand new radio station from Pittsburgh. And the owner's intent was to do quality radio programming like a Radio Disney. And I reached out to him and I was like, I would love to do a show. Like, is that something that you would be into? And he totally was on board with it. So every weekend, I host the Twinkle Time Top 20 Countdown, and it's all like cool music from independent artists from around the world. And it's like not just music, it's like fun, it's educational, and it's like 2 hours of awesomeness online.
And if I'm not mistaken, you are releasing a video tomorrow?
I am! Yes. I'm so excited about this song and the video. The song's called It's Okay to Be Me. Y también en español, A mí me gusta ser yo. And so the single is actually out. It came out June 25th, I believe. And but now tomorrow the music video is coming out, and I'm so excited about this one. Like, we've been pumping out music videos throughout the year, but this one by far is my favorite. Like, it was the most fun to film. And it was, I think I just wrote this on Instagram the other day, but it really was kind of like magical and special. Like, when it's never the case when you're filming that everything it goes smooth and perfectly. Like, that's never the case. And so this particular shoot, everything was seamless. Everything went the way. Well, actually, there was one moment that I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Like, I want people to watch the video and then I'll talk about it. But like, we almost weren't able to film in this one place. But that even worked out. And so, because it's like guerrilla filmmaking at its finest, right? Like we're like, go, run, go over there. But everything worked out so perfectly, and it looks phenomenal. And I'm excited about it. So everybody tune in tomorrow. I think, yeah, tomorrow I think I'm going to put it out around noon. So I guess I'm telling everybody right now here, noon tomorrow.
Okay. So I will be posting something on my Instagram too. Yay. So everybody can see Ali in action.
Yeah.
And now moving on to musical questions, because this is what I asked 2 weeks ago. I interviewed Lindsay Pagano. I don't know if you remember her. She was famous in 2001.
Yeah. I remember the name. I would have to listen to it, but I know that name for sure.
Well, I was asking her some questions
Oh
about
no.
music, and I'm gonna go with you now. So, who is your favorite female pop singer?
Oh, right now, Dua Lipa.
Oh, really?
I,
Oh,
I love Dua, like at all time or like
it
right
can be
now.
like whatever, whatever. I don't know.
I loved, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Like, I love Dua Lipa. Like, her last album, like, there's not one bad song on that album. Like, it's ear candy, 100%. Of course, I love Gwen Stefani. I mean, she's like an icon, an idol, somebody that I've looked up to. And Lady Gaga's great. But yeah, Dua Lipa for sure is, especially with her last album. I just, every song on that, like, I still listen to.
Okay, and now your favorite male pop singer.
Bruno Mars. Like, I mean, hands down. He's, I think, our generation, Michael, Prince, all the greats rolled into one. He is an incredible entertainer, an amazing vocalist and songwriter, and I've seen him live so many times, and what I love too about him is not only is he amazing in everything I just mentioned, but he loves what he does so much that, like, every concert, like, it's been longer than 2 hours, and he could, like, if he didn't have to shut down because they're like, clock's ticking, we gotta, like, we can't pay the employees overtime, like, he would sing forever, like he just loves it, and I think he would do it if it was like a crowd of 10 people, like, that's like I feel like I relate to him on that angle, because it's just like, when you love it, you could feel it, and I love him so much.
He's a great songwriter.
Yes.
His lyrics.
Yes.
He's come here to Mexico, but I have never been able to go to his concerts. So
you have to,
okay.
Like, put it on your bucket list, because he is the best concert you'll ever see, hands down.
I'll do. And I will let you know when I
Okay.
go. And your favorite girl group? No, Nobody's Angel.
Okay. Favorite girl group of all time? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna have to say, I love the Spice Girls. I mean, who doesn't love the Spice Girls, right? I love the Spice Girls. I remember being such a cool sister, taking my sisters, because we got tickets when we were Nobody's Angel to go, and I was like, oh my sisters thought I was like the coolest ever. But I also really love the Pussycat Dolls. I think that, like, their songs were just brilliant. Their visual, like, just everything, I loved it. Like, I probably not the direction that we would have been allowed to go with being signed to Disney, but I mean, I would try to go, like, maybe go a little bit more in that direction. But yeah, but that was, they had great songs.
And well, this one I probably know, but favorite boy band.
Well, okay, so definitely I would say, I mean, Youngstown for sure. But let's see. But as far as boy bands of all time, I'm going to say New Kids on the Block.
Okay.
That was my band, and I've seen them in concert multiple times recently. I'm a total Donnie person, 100%. So, yeah, I'm a blockhead for sure.
Okay. And if you were dropped on an island and you could only take 5 of your favorite albums with you, which ones would they be?
5 of my favorite albums. Okay, so Dua Lipa's, Bruno Mars. Okay, wait, hold on. Michael Bublé. I love Michael Bublé. And I don't know which album out of Michael Bublé, but okay, 2 more. Oh my gosh. I think it would have to be. I love Miranda Lambert. I love country music. So, Miranda Lambert probably, and then oh my gosh, that was how many was that? Dua Lipa,
You
Bruno.
have four.
I have four so far. Okay, so one more. Um. Ooh. Oh, Keith Urban.
Okay. Keep
Yeah,
going.
and the latest one, the one that he did a duet with Carrie Underwood. I can't remember the name. But but then there's Jessie J though. There's I love pop music, but Jessie J's a good one too. Like I could listen and Pink. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with those. So like Keith Urban, Miranda, Bruno, Dua Lipa, and Michael Bublé.
Okay. And your favorite song of all time is?
Oh my god. That's hard. Favorite song of all time? Oh my god. I think it would have to be. Oh, I guess my dog wants to say hi. Maybe like a Prince song. And I don't know if a favorite song, because I like all of his songs, but maybe something from his album Diamonds and Pearls. That's I don't know if you know that album, but it's such a great album.
I'm not very familiar with him. My dad loves him.
Oh my god, Prince is that's what I'm saying, like Bruno Mars, like because Prince not only was an amazing songwriter, but can play every instrument, like was such an amazing musician, and just his charisma on stage is just like you gotta go watch some YouTube videos of him when he's like full on with his guitar and just singing. Oh, it's just mind blowing.
I'm gonna look for him. And now your favorite Nobody's Angel song is?
Could it does it have to be from the album that everybody knows, or could it be like
I would hope so, because that's the ones we know.
Well, I it's definitely their Next Stop Heaven or Right There Waiting. Those are like those have like every time I performed them, like it just brought like a good vibe, a good energy.
Okay, and the one that you loved performing the most was Next Stop Heaven?
Yeah, that's my favorite. Like I to this day, like when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, I could, I love that song. That's a good song.
Okay, well, so do you happen to have like more performances of Nobody's Angel that you could upload? Because there's I think she's here, Stephanie.
Is that? Oh, I don't want to mention her last name, but Stephanie, yes. So
you uploaded some videos, well, like a couple of Nobody's Angels performances, and that's the only ones that are like available.
Oh, she was great at capturing all kinds of stuff. I have stuff, but I have it on VHS tapes, and I don't have a VCR. And in fact, I was just saying this the other day, and Stephanie was like, send them and I will put them up, make them digital for you. So I have, I'm not even kidding, like a huge box of stuff. But it's all VHS tapes.
It would be great if you could send them to Stephanie, or right. I don't know, Costco does it.
That's what I thought, and then I heard that Costco was getting rid of either their photo department or their, transferring. So, but maybe I need to go and find out, because I have lots of VHS tapes.
Oh, we'd love to see it. There's only like a couple of performances, and that's it. And I would love to see you guys performing the Next Stop Heaven.
I hope we have that. I have footage, I believe. I'm pretty sure I have it. I'm pretty sure somebody sent it to me. We were when AJ from Backstreet Boys did his like solo thing. He was doing like Johnny No Name. Somebody gave me a video of the performance, and obviously that was one of our songs that was in the show. So I'll have to find it.
Oh, please do. I really would love that. And do you think that your husband will be able to do an interview for Mariel Talks Pop?
You know what? He might. He just might. He hasn't done an interview like in so long. He just might love that.
I'll ask him, and we'd love to have him here so we can talk about Youngstown. And because a lot of fans are always like, do you happen to have more Youngstown things? And I'm like, okay, so.
Yeah, I will let him know. I will ask him.
Okay, that's it. That's great, Ali. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It's been a pleasure meeting you, talking to you. Yeah. I mean, you are such a great person, a great performer, and it's been an honor talking to you.
Thank you for doing this. This was fun, and anytime, and I will have to figure out how to put Nobody's Angel together with Youngstown and BB Mac one day and make that happen. And
let's hope that we can make this happening with Sarah and Stacy and Amy Sue. Like I was texting you the other day about it. Maybe we can
I think we all like, cause you know, like we just all have to be kind of on the same page, and you know, cause my whole thing is like, if we're gonna start doing interviews as Nobody's Angel, then let's do something as Nobody's Angel. Otherwise, at least for me, what's the point? You know, like, so I just feel like I think that would be key, is like to have a goal and then to be able to do interviews like as a group. That to me makes the most sense.
Okay, well, I will hear if you are on it for it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everyone watching. We have the Twinkle Time Street team that has been texting a lot. Team Stephanie, that's here.
Stephanie.
And we have Elizabeth, and we have Monica.
Yes. Hi.
Thank you so much for tuning in. This video will be available on my channel. I think it will be seen until tomorrow because it takes some time to upload.
Okay.
It will be available tomorrow.
Okay, let me know, and I will share with everybody that wasn't able to watch live. And but thank you for having me, and this was fun.
No, thank you, Ali. I hope you had a great time, and let's hope to do this soon.
Yes, for sure. Say bye.
Take care.
Bye. She's not combed, but bye.
Okay. Take care, Ali.
Bye.
Bye.